Well, hello from Northern Ireland. This week we are traveling around Belfast and we only have 3 days in the capital, so we're going to try and cover as much ground as we possibly can and show you some of the highlights.
Belfast is the capital city and largest city in Northern Ireland. This destination hasn't always been popular with visitors due to a conflict known as the Troubles. However, in recent years, Belfast has experienced a resurgence and is slowly starting to make a name for itself. We gave ourselves a few days to explore the city, and the result is the following video showcasing 20 things to do in Belfast.
The RMS Titanic was the largest ship afloat at the time it entered service, and it was built by the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast. The Titanic Belfast exhibition tells the story of the Titanic's ill-fated maiden voyage in 1912, and it is one of the top attractions in the city.
Right now we're on board the SS Nomadic, the little sister of the Titanic, and we're going to take a full tour of the ship. The SS Nomadic was a steamship built as a tender to the RMS Titanic. It was her job to ferry passengers, baggage, and supplies to and from the shore. Why don't you go place an order over there with your virtual server?
Sure thing. 2 champagnes. So you can play dress up aboard the SS Nomadic, and maybe, perhaps this is what women would have worn back in the day.
Would you care to join me for a cocktail tonight?
Oh my, I'm gonna say yes.
You look absolutely ravishing, darling.
Why, thank you. Next up, we are heading inside St. George's Market, which we've been told is more than just a farmer's market. Apparently, aside from buying food there, you can catch some live shows, go shopping for vintage items, jewelry. So we're gonna head inside and see what it's like.
And it's only open on the weekends.
Time in Belfast.
So, since we've been in Ireland, my favorite meal has been breakfast, and it's been this full Irish breakfast. We're now in Belfast, and over here it's called an Ulster fry. It's slightly different from an Irish breakfast, which we'll explain later, but it is a very complete breakfast that has a lot of different things, including bacon, sausage, eggs, potatoes, tomatoes, and a whole bunch of other stuff, which we'll show you in a bit.
So it is time for a grand tour of the meal.
Breakfast has arrived.
Yep,
so we've got soda and potato bread over here. We've got our fried egg.
Yeah.
We've got something that resembles a hash brown. We've got our sausage.
Yes.
Our bacon, and of course our beans.
So that's a very complete meal. I hope you're hungry.
Yeah, we sure are.
So what I find really unique about the Ulster fry is that you get potato bread and soda bread, which are breads that I've never really tried before. But they're quite nice and compact, very heavy, you know, you're getting your carbs in early in the morning. It looks quite thin, but it's really heavy. Starchy. And then this is a soda bread. I'm not really sure if you're supposed to put butter and jam on it since it's more of a savory bread, but it's really good on its own. Thank you. And I think they call them rashers here.
Yeah, they are called rashers.
So I'm eating rashers. How are they?
Something that I love about the Ulster fry and Irish breakfast is that you can pick it up almost any time of day. We typically have it for breakfast, but if you get a craving for it at night, you can pop into a restaurant that specializes in the dish and you can have yourself some.
So are you feeling like a student again this morning?
Well, I'm glad I'm not a student anymore, but I am enjoying visiting Queen's University here in Belfast. It has a lovely campus. And what's cool for us is that we have a connection to Queen's because we went to a university in Canada also called Queen's.
But I think there's no affiliation between the two, just the same name.
Yeah, that's it.
Queen's University Belfast is one of the oldest universities in the United Kingdom. It also happens to have a really nice campus, so we decided to take a little stroll.
The Botanic Gardens first opened as a private garden in 1828, and for many years the public only had access on Sundays. Today anyone can visit, and it's a beautiful place to walk around, especially if you luck out with sunshine.
So it's a beautiful afternoon here in Belfast, and today we are going to be visiting Belfast Castle. Now, up until today, I had never heard of Belfast Castle before, but I got chatting with the taxi driver and he really recommended this place. So here we are, and we're gonna go check it out. I made friends with a forest creature. Oh, so cute.
Belfast Castle sits on the slopes of Cave Hill Country Park, and it offers nice panoramic views of the city. Visiting may or may not make you feel like royalty for the day.
So another cool thing you can do at Belfast Castle is eat a meal here. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're heading downstairs to the Cellar restaurant. I'm hungry! This is my first meal inside a castle, and I'm having a clam chowder. So how was your first meal in a castle?
Well, it's really good. That's some of the best risotto I've had in a long time, and I must say that the price was really affordable and it was just a great meal. Well, after that glorious feast, it's time to burn off some calories. We are going to go all the way up to Cave Hill, and we've got a bit of a hike.
Okay, so we had every intention of reaching the top of Cave Hill, but honestly, the path isn't clearly marked, and we only have about an hour before the sun sets, and we've hit a point where this trail splits into 5 different little paths, and we don't really know which way to go, so we figure better turn back around now before it gets any darker. However, if you do start the hike a little earlier in the day, and maybe if you have a better map than what we have on hand, you should try it because we've been told the views are great once you reach the top. There you go.
Alright, it is hockey night in Northern Ireland. We are here in Belfast to watch the Giants play. I'm a huge hockey fan, and coming from Canada, this is a real treat. This is my first hockey game in Europe. Let's go check it out.
Up in Belfast, and we are trying a traditional Irish and Northern Irish dish. This is called boxty, and it's basically made with grated potato that's mixed with mashed potatoes and then fried in a pan. So Sam and I have ordered 2 different varieties, and we're going to be digging into those because they just arrived and we're so hungry. So there's a little rhyme that goes along with boxty, and it's a little something like this. Boxty on the griddle, boxty on the pan. If you can make boxty, you can get a man. I don't know how to make boxty, but I somehow landed Sam, so...
I must have low standards, huh?
So I got boxty with ham, cheese, and an egg, a fried egg on top. So let's have a taste of this. Still steaming. Oh, whole hop.
You silly goose.
It tastes like fried mashed potato. Alright, and what do you have over here?
So mine is the pulled pork with an applesauce.
Apple chutney. What do you think?
It's so good. I love that. I love any kind of potato dish that's fried, and then you add some pulled pork to that.
Magic! So if I had to compare this dish to anything from back home in North America, I would say it's kind of similar to a hash brown, except it's a lot thicker and the potato's a bit softer. But I mean, it's still fried, mashed, and grated potatoes. So it's good. Heavy on the carbs, pretty tasty. I like that it comes with different toppings. And I could honestly eat this for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, so it works any time of day.
While in town, we made time to visit the Ulster Museum. They have a really good exhibit focusing on the Troubles, where you can learn more about Northern Ireland's turmoiled past.
While wandering around the city, you'll also notice large murals with strong political messages. Some of these make reference to the city's turbulent past, while others allude to a peaceful future. These murals offer a unique window into the city, and you can even take black taxi tours that cover the history and show you the peace lines and some of the troubled spots.
Belfast City Hall is located in Donegal Square in the heart of the city centre. They offer free daily tours to the public.
The Octopus's Garden is a fun vintage store in Belfast city centre. They have old tapes and records as well as unique pieces for anyone wanting to spice up their wardrobe.
So if you take a look at my pint over here, you might be thinking I'm having Guinness. It does look a lot like Guinness, but in fact it is Belfast Black, and I have to say it tastes just as good, if not better.
For 360-degree views of Belfast, we recommend going to Victoria Square Shopping Centre and riding the elevator up to the Dome. This will give you a nice bird's eye view of Belfast.
St. Anne's Cathedral, also known as Belfast Cathedral, has stood over 100 years. It's another attraction worth visiting if you're in the area.
For a different dining experience, you can set foot aboard Holohans at the Barge, which is moored beside the Waterfront Theatre. It's a top-rated restaurant in Belfast, plus it's pretty cool dining aboard a ship.
Lastly, if you're in the mood to catch a performance while you're in Belfast, you can choose between Ulster Hall or the Grand Opera House, both of which have pretty active event schedules.
So to wrap things up here in Belfast, I'm going to mention 3 things I really liked about the city. First off, it's highly affordable. One of the best bargains you can get is a day pass for the bus. It's really cheap and it allows you to travel anywhere in the city, unlimited usage. Secondly, this is a very friendly city. Almost anytime we brought out a map, we had a local coming up to offer help. And we just found that whenever we took taxi rides or in restaurants, locals really went the extra distance to make us feel welcome here. And lastly, this is a very walkable city. Most of the attractions are clustered in the downtown area and you can reach most of them by foot.
And that's it for our quick trip to Belfast. As you can probably see, our visit was fairly short, so we didn't get to do it all. If you have any suggestions of other sites and attractions worth checking out around Belfast, feel free to share those in the comments below.